Well, so if you're starting off your career in this digital marketing domain as a beginner, business owner, or maybe a marketing student, then you really have to understand the ad account setup and the structure part. Now, understanding the structure is really important because if you don't know the structuring part, then you don't know how do you start and then how do you finish your campaign creation part. So it's like the digital marketing ad accounts start with setting up all of these ad accounts at level 1. So at level 1, you start with setting up a Google ad account or maybe setting up a Facebook ad account. Now, if it's Google, then you simply get into ads.google.com and set up an account over here. If it's Facebook, then you get into adsmanager.facebook.com and you again set up a Facebook ad account, which means a meta ad account. Now, once you have these accounts available at level 1, you simply have to set up one or multiple ad campaigns. Again, you go back to these accounts, you simply click on new campaign, which allows you to create the campaign. For Meta, you simply click on this create button, and this also allows you to create the campaign after choosing the campaign objective. Now, once you have the campaigns available, then you simply have to create one and multiple ad groups at level 3. And finally, you have to provide the keywords, the ad text, and the landing pages. But now the question or the problem where people really get stuck is at why do they create multiple campaigns in the account? And in fact, how many campaigns they create? Or maybe why do they create multiple ad groups in the account? And in order to understand if you create one or multiple campaigns and then one or multiple ad groups, you really have to understand the account structuring part first. And also, what are the settings we have at each and every level of these accounts? So once you know the settings of these accounts, you would know how and why you need to create multiple campaigns and ad groups. So it's like if you want to start an account for a shoe business, then you can start with a male campaign, which could be male shoe campaign or a female shoe campaign. In male campaign, you can have one or two groups, or maybe you can have additional groups in the same campaign. But again, why don't you just create one single campaign rather than going with two campaigns? You can of course have one single campaign, right? Or why do you need to have these two groups in the campaign? Why can't you have maybe 10 groups in the campaign? Or why can't you have one single group in the campaign? Now, this is something which is always confusing until you understand the account or the settings at each and every level. So it's like when you set up an ad account, you start with an account name. This is the first thing in the ad account. Then you provide the country, time zone, and currency in that account. After providing all these three things, you simply have to add the billing information in the account along with the email ID of the person who can access this account along with you. Once this account is set, you simply have to create the campaign. Now, the campaign creation is having 4 different settings. You choose the campaign type, the campaign budget, campaign target location, and the bidding strategy. So it's like if you have to choose 2 different campaigns, let's say, if you have to make one male shoe campaign as a search campaign and the other female shoe campaign as a display campaign, you always have to create 2 separate campaigns because this setting is available at the campaign level. If you have separate budgets dedicated for each campaign, let's say you have 1,000 rupees of budget for males and 2,000 rupees of budgets for female, you again separate 2 different campaigns. If you have these separate locations, let's say one location as a Delhi for male campaign and Mumbai for female campaign, you again set up 2 different campaigns. So at any point, when any of these settings of the campaign changes, you make or you have to make separate campaigns. So now just below the campaign, you create groups. And these groups are needed for you if you have the separate themes or separate categories for that campaign. So let's say in male shoes, if you have 3 different categories, one for leather shoes, second for sport shoes, or third could be for formal shoes or casual shoes or any kind of shoes, you create separate groups. But the problem is, even if you are having 3 groups over here, the groups will be taking the budget from the same campaign. You won't be having the separate budgets for each and every group in Google. Again, if you have female campaign, you can have separate groups over here, and every separate group means now you can track the performance of the leather group campaign. I'm sorry, leather group within the campaign. You can track separate performance of the sports group in the same campaign. Like over here, if I simply take you to a Google Ad account, and if I take you into the groups of this campaign, then we can see that the no spin group, which is the first group, has given maximum clicks to us. Followed to which we have Mehndi ring group, which is having 7 clicks, brass earring, which is having 1 click over here. And we can even see the cost taken by each and every group in the campaign. So having the group means we can separately see the performance on each and every group in the campaign. And then finally, we have to add the keywords and the ad copies of the same group. Now having the keywords and the ad copies means this leather group will be showing the ads to people who are searching for leather shoe keywords, just because we have the leather shoe keywords in this leather group only. Now let's say if we have one single group, then it's quite possible that leather shoe keywords can show the ad which belong to sport shoes, can take the customer to the landing page which belong to sport shoes. Having the separate group means we'll be having the separate keywords for leather group in one group, separate ads for leather group in the same group, and then the sport group will be having the keywords and ads which belong to the sport shoe category. So that's how we can structure the group so that we only connect to the customer who is looking for leather shoes over here. Now, at level 2, we simply set up these settings. Then level 3, within the group, what we do, we simply add the keywords and the ad copies. So the keyword can be added in 3 different formats, which would start with broad keywords, phrase keywords, or exact match keywords. And the ad copy can have the landing pages related to that particular group. And then finally, we can set up a Google Ad account by getting into ads.google.com. In fact, if I simply show you the ad account, let's say over here, in this account, we have this campaign at level 1, we have the group at level 2, and within this group, we have keywords and the ad copies. In fact, if I take you to Facebook, here also we have the campaign over here. In the campaign, we have ad sets. Ad sets are called as ad groups in Google. And then within the ad sets, we have the ads option. Now, I can simply get or take you into ads.google.com. And from here, I'm sorry, ads.google.com. And from here, we can simply click on Start Now. And you can get into this account from any of the Gmail IDs. We click on Set up a new account. I already have some accounts in progress. So account is already having the name in my system. But for you, you'll have to choose the name as well. Once you choose the name, you'll be asked to add the billing, which means, add the country, choose the country, time zone, and currency in this account. Once you have these things available, you click on submit, and then you are ready with your fresh account. I think it's quite simple. Now I have a couple of activities for you, just because you are willing to understand and learn Google Ads as a practical course for yourself. Now I have 3 set of activities for you. 1, I want you to set up the Google Ad account with any of your Gmail ID right now. Then 2, I want you to go through all the or entire Google Ad account interface, which means you go through the entire interface of the ad accounts. I want you to go through the tools and settings, go through the planning options over here, go through shared library, bulk actions, measurement, setup, and the billing part. And then I also want you to simply launch campaigns. And you must be thinking, why the hell I'm asking you to launch these campaigns? Okay, so trust me, once you know how to set up the account, the campaign launching part is not that difficult. All you have to do is to choose any website. So let's say if I simply show you how to launch a campaign, you simply come over here, you click on the top of the account, you go to campaigns button, and you click on this button, which asks you to create a fresh campaign. You click on new campaign, and then you simply choose the campaign objective, which could be sales or leads or the website traffic. Let's say we go with website traffic. If you're confused, then you go with create a campaign without any goal guidance. Then here you choose the campaign type. So let's say with search, we go with search. Then we click on continue. We simply click on continue again. We give it a campaign name. Let's say we name it springtails.search if you are creating it for springtails_search. Then you click on continue. And then we click on start new. We choose the campaign bidding part. So let's say we go with clicks, and we set a maximum click bidding limit of 10 rupees, which means we don't want to pay to Google more than 10. We click on next. We go with networks as a search network, which means we want to show the ad only on Google search and the search partners, which means websites like AOL or websites like a couple of Google search partners are there. And then you choose the campaign locations. You simply click on next now. And finally, you add some keywords and add copy over here. Now, when it comes to adding the project, which means adding the website link, what you can do, you can simply open any website that you like. Maybe you get into amazon.in, you simply copy and paste this website as your website, as your website URL. You would simply add this link over here, create this ad copy, add some keywords, and finish your campaign creation part. Now, once you are done with your search campaign, I also want you to create a display campaign, which means adding up of your okay, now display is a bit tricky because this time you have to add a banner in this campaign. But what you can do, you can try the option of responsive search ad, and using which you will be able to create the banner in it. And finally, you can also create the video campaign, which means you will have to take a link of a video from the YouTube interface. Now, I was just showing you how to finish this account creation part. So I have shown you that you have to choose billing, time zone, and currency. But then there are some new settings in the account. That's why I'll show you how do you create a fresh account. So when you choose all these options, then it takes a while and asks you to install a code on the website. This is a bit difficult part right now because you don't know how to set up the codes, like the code of the accounts. So this is the code which Google wants you to add on the website. And this code is required to track how many people are coming on the website. Now, of course, you don't have a website available right now. You don't know how to add the code. So what you do, you simply click on text connection. Then you click on I'll do this next. You click on I'll do this next later. And you click on agree and continue to your account. And this time you finish it by clicking on set up your Google tag later, which means you don't want to set up the Google tags right now. And now you have the fresh account available right in your screen. You simply click on this new campaign button. And what I want from you is to set up 3 fresh campaigns, starting with search, display, and then going with the last one, which is video campaign for this project. And finally, if you're going for any job interview, I know it's not going to happen right now, but then you can simply go through this questionnaire, which is going to ask you the questions related to how do you set up the Google Ad account and its structure. And you can see how much you are scoring after filling up this inquiry or this questionnaire sheet. I'll be probably seeing you in the next video of this Google Ads project based training course. You have a lovely day ahead. Bye bye.